I just want to briefly say I've studied the Texas bill. I've studied the Georgia voting bill that have been in the news a lot. I think the liberal mainstream media have mischaracterized both bills, significantly mischaracterized both bills. Both bills look to me like it make it easier to vote and harder to cheat, which is what every law-abiding, legal American voter should want. With that, Madam Chair, I would like to yield the balance of my time to the gentleman from Texas, Mr. Fallon.
Gentleman from Texas is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to clarify something because you're all under oath, and just want to make sure. Well, Ms. Thompson, Representative Thompson, was there a meeting held before the special session that took about a half a day that involved Republicans and Democrats trying to work out this bill?
That was.
Okay, and did you attend that meeting?
I did.
Okay. And during the 5-hour layout, you see, there's a special committee that was appointed to hear this bill, and are you on that committee?
Vice Chair.
Okay. So Chairman Andy Murr, during the layout, I believe it was 5 hours, he's the bill's author, talked about the concern that Representative Collier had about the mail-in ballot. If you use 20 years ago your Social Security number, but now you're using your driver's license number, because Representative Busey specifically asked that question, and the commitment was made. Do you remember a commitment being made by Chairman Murr? You might not. That's fine. I just want to.
I don't recall it.
If we watch the tape back, there'll be a commitment publicly made by Chairman Murr that he would cure that and he would fix it with a floor amendment. So I just want to move on from that. Representative Collier, do you believe, and I'm guessing that I know the answer, but I want to give you the chance to answer, that this bill, if it becomes law, would be restrictive?
Can you explain? What do you mean restrictive?
Harder to vote.
I'm sorry?
Harder to vote.
I think that this bill, let me give you an example. As I sat here today, my integrity was questioned. The veracity of my statement was questioned by Congressman Sessions. He made an accusation that I was incorrect, and he said it with such authority that it called into question my actions. And based on that, it could deter someone from participating any further.
Okay, well, I'm not Representative Sessions, but I'm going to have to reclaim my time again. It's just because we only.
Well, you're asking about how that's going to make it harder. It's going to make it harder if I have a
Representative Collier, if you don't want to answer the question, that's fine. I'm just asking.
Hard.
Do you believe this bill is going to be restrictive? You oppose the bill in its current form, so I'm guessing you don't think it's a good bill. Fair to say, yes or no?
What I believe is that this is going to be harder on people, that they're going to be targeted for people of color to participate in the election process.
So you would say it's at least it's racially maybe motivated, but certainly racially negative.
It will have a disparate impact on people of color.
Okay, and that's your view. We have 2 weeks of early voting in Texas. If we were to reduce that to 1 week, would you say that would have a disproportionate effect on people of color?
I think you have to look at the totality of the circumstances.
No, I mean, just say there's 2 weeks now.
You can't just say it's that, though. It's more than that. It's also the hours, the location.
Right. So this expands the hours, but
no, it doesn't. This bill does not expand the hours. It reduces the hours.
Okay, it does not. In 253 counties, it expands the hours.
We had 24-hour voting.
In one county.
There was 24-hour voting, and now you cannot.
That means it reduces was there 253 counties that had 24-hour voting in the last cycle?
It reduces the ballot.
No, there was not.
It reduces the voting.
Would you join me in condemning Connecticut and New Hampshire and Delaware and New York and New Jersey for being racially insensitive by not having 2 weeks of early voting? Some of those states don't have any early voting.
I'm not familiar with what's going on in those other states.
But you would say that early voting is a good thing?
I would believe that you have to look at the totality of the circumstances.
Okay, so you don't know where your stance is on early voting. Drive-through voting, can you name any states that allow 24-hour voting currently in statute?
I know what Texas does. In Texas, Dallas County had drive-through
Madam Chair, I'm going to have to reclaim my time on that one. How about drive-through voting? Do you know, are aware of any states?
Harris County had drive-through voting.
Any other states other than Texas?
That is the state I'm aware of, Texas.
Okay, so there's none that you know of. No other 50 states. So I think that what we've seen here. Now, and correct me if I'm wrong. You called this bill Jim Crow 2.0?
I have not made that statement today.
Have you made it in the past?
No.
You've never said it?
I don't believe I have.
Okay, so you don't think, but do you believe
it is discriminatory, though?
You do believe it's racially discriminatory?
It does have a disparate impact on people of color.
So do you believe that people that support this bill are practicing racial discrimination if you vote for
I'm
it?
not saying, I think that the outcome of
It would be
the bill
clear.
would be a disparate impact.
So
I
are
would
you,
believe
are
it's
you
more
calling
politically
your,
motivated.
are you calling your Republican colleagues racist in any form by supporting this?
They're
bill?
uninformed.
They're uninformed. Ms. T, you said that there were Proud Boys that were practicing intimidation. I've never met a Proud Boy.
I didn't say they were Proud Boys. I said
They
they
look like Proud
They
Boys.
looked
What
like
does
they
what
could
does a
be.
Proud Boy look like? Because I never met one.
Well, I think that you saw some up here on January the 6th, didn't you?
Yeah, I was about to fight some. I don't know who was proud. I don't know who they were. They were criminals that were, breached the Capitol, and I wasn't too happy about it. So what would you describe a Proud Boy? What do they look like?
Well, let me tell you what the people look like that I talked about, the poll watch that comes to my area. They are white, look like they could be people of the Proud Boys or the Ku Klux Klan.
Just by looking
they-
at them. You're judging a book by its cover.
Well, you know, they haven't sent you yet. I'm still waiting for them to send you to my area.
Gentleman's
because
time has
it would-
expired.
It would be more amenable to me if you had a chance to come.
I believe that there were no complaints filed in Harris County at all on voter intimidation, so therefore I believe it's more of an urban legend than fact. Thank you, Madam Chair. I yield back.
I now yield